Good morning, friends. I wanted to discuss part two of why I chose Missouri. For starters, I still think Missouri is very affordable. You can get pretty much good acreage between $3,000 to $10,000 an acre, depending on where you're looking, what you're hoping to find there. Some people want ponds already there or existing buildings already there. Uh, some people want, pastures fenced in. Some people want, wells, septic, depending on what you're hoping to find. Uh, I think it's still very much worth it. I was fortunate in that I had an electrical pole at my property, but of course it wasn't on. So that took time to get the electricity on. I was also blessed because there was a well already dug, um, installed on the property, but it wasn't on properly. It was a solar type of well. So I had to do some work with the well company to get it to function in a way that I could manage it. The solar compartments were not all there, and what was given to us was not sufficient to get it to function properly. And I didn't even really know much about solar at the time. I do plan to one day turn the well back into solar, and also get a pump somehow, so that there are multiple ways of getting water. Because if the grid goes down, guess what? I don't have a well, or I have a well that's not productive on the land. So there are plans to make sure that sources of water is constantly available to us on the land. So a well is a good thing to have on the land. But sometimes, even if you find a property that has a well, you have to still inspect the well and make sure it's working properly. Because I've known of some people who have bought wells, properties with wells, and the well was practically useless for whatever reason. It was cracked, or it had major flaws, or was not installed right, or wasn't deep enough, or was pretty much dried out. They couldn't even get access to the water for whatever reason. So make sure you do your homework in that respect. The other things I liked about Missouri, and I encourage people to purchase in Missouri, is not just the price per acre, it's also the growing season. I recall my first year on my land. I mean, the weather was beautiful from spring all the way almost into November. I mean, it was shocking. It was just beautiful. Oh, yeah, once winter came, it became bitter cold. But from, let's say, late March to early November, that's a very, very long growing season. Very, very long. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still under the weather. Uh, so bear with me if my voice sounds crappy. I, I'm trying to breathe in between, with my mouth open, because my nose is pretty stuffed up. So yeah, the growing season is fantastic. I mean, the sun is up in Missouri during the summer months, close to 9 o'clock at night. Sometimes it feels like it's just a long, long growing season, and I think that's amazing for those of us who are homesteaders, who wants to garden, who's hoping to can. So you desire to produce a lot of food, so that you could have a good amount of food storage together. I mean, it's just fantastic, the growing season. The other thing I like about Missouri is if you're a meat eater, You will never starve. I mean, there's wild turkey there and deer, um, and all types of birds and all type of fish, in the ponds and in the creeks and the, in the lakes and the rivers. It's just a bountiful of food, a bountiful of food if you're a meat eater. And if you're people who don't have dietary restrictions for biblical reasons, or whatever religion you are, you don't have a dietary restrictions. I mean, there's just all kinds of edible animals. I've met people who eat squirrels and eat all types of animals, rabbits, and I mean, for them, it's like amazing. It's just incredible, because there's all kinds of ways to create traps to catch animals, to eat them if you are a meat eater. And the less dietary restrictions you have, whether for biblical reasons or for health reasons, is the more likely you will have food, for sure. And speaking of food, for those of us who are maybe more restrictive for dietary reasons, or like, let's say if you're plant-based, there are thousands of nut trees in the Ozarks, thousands. Let's specify Missouri, thousands of nut trees. On my land alone, I have access to at least 6 different nut trees that I'm aware of. Now, there are probably more, but I haven't even combed through every tree on my land. I haven't even inspected every single tree in all seasons to see what exactly it produced. I found out one of my trees has sarsaparilla. Um, and I have black walnut trees, and there are acorns and pecan trees, and there's ways to take these nut trees and turn these nuts into flour, so you're not dealing with supermarket uh, flours that are full with genetically modified ingredients. It's just incredible. If you're patient, and you are very structured and organized, orderly, and plan things out, you can really endeavor to feed yourself very well, living on your land that you buy, providing if it has nut trees and all these wild berries, wild raspberries and wild blueberries, and wild persimmon trees. It's just bountiful and plentiful and beautiful. So for me, Missouri is bountiful. Missouri is beautiful. Missouri resources are plentiful. I mean, plentiful. That's part 2 of why I chose to purchase land in Missouri, and why I love Missouri. And thanks for listening. And I hope to do a part 3, and maybe even a part 4. And then afterwards, I'll go into what I don't like about Missouri, or what the things I don't like about my experience in Missouri. And thank goodness, knock on wood, it's not that many things I don't like. And for the most part, everything I don't like about Missouri so far can be mitigated and corrected and dealt with, so that that negative turn into a positive. I'm about positive living, positive thinking, and positive action. And whatever doesn't work for me, believe you me, I will turn that lemon into lemonade and make it work for me and use it to my advantage. So thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you guys soon. And hopefully the next time I'm on here, I will sound even better than I do today. Bless you and have a great day. Happy prep day for those who are prepping for the Sabbath. Bye.